Good afternoon, students. How are you doing? Today, we'll be dealing with chapter 9.1, the states of matter. We're also going to be dealing with general with the kinetic model of matter. Let's deal with states of matter. Matter exists in three states. The states are solid, liquid, and gas. To look at the characteristics of these three states, their shape and size are considered. Change of state. Heat a solid and it melts to become a liquid. Heat the liquid and it boils to become a gas. Cool the gas and it becomes first a liquid and then a solid. This process is known as changes of state. The names of these states are listed below. Number one, melting. In melting, solid substances changes to what? Liquid. Number two, boiling. When boiling takes place, liquid substances changes to gas. Condensing or condensation. When this occurs, gas becomes liquid. And number four, for freezing, when a substance freezes, it goes from what? Liquid to what? Gas. Under these states of matter, also we have to drag the following words and put them into the correct boxes. Another term for a liquid changing into a gas is evaporation. Energy must be supplied to change a solid into a liquid. Temperature remains constant as the solid melts. Similarly, when a liquid becomes a gas, its temperature remains constant, even though energy is supplied to it. A pure substance changes from solid to liquid at a particular temperature, known as the melting point. A liquid changes to a gas at a fixed temperature, referred to as the boiling point. So let's check. That's correct. Then we move on. Let's deal with this past question. What name is given to the temperature at which a gas condenses to form a liquid? When a gas condenses to form a liquid, that is what? Condensation. So we refer to that as what? Condensation point. We can check. That's correct. Again, past question. What name is given to the process in which a liquid changes into a solid? Liquid becomes solid when what? Freezing occurs. Alright? One name is given to the temperature at which this happens. That is the what? The freezing point. So our answer now will be what? Freezing and freezing point. Do we have it? That's correct. Now, the kinetic model of matter. We are to drag the following words into the correct boxes also. The kinetic model of matter is also referred to as the particle model of matter. To study the kinetic model of matter, what do you think are dealt with? Particles. Particles are dealt with. Particles consist of atoms, molecules, all right, or ions. A pure substance consists of large numbers of identical particles whose particles are the same. A mixture, however, contains two or more types of particles. Let's check. That's correct. Now, we are dealing with arrangement of particles. You have to observe the diagram above. Looking at figure A, figure B, and what? Figure C. In figure A, the particles or atoms are closely packed. In figure B, they are loosely packed. While in figure C, the atoms are free to move. So we have to fill in the missing words. The figure above shows the arrangement of particles in, what do you think A will be? That is what? Solid. For B, what do you think that will be? Liquid. And C will be what? Gas. So let's check. Correct. Now, evidence for the kinetic model. We are also to drag the following words into the correct boxes. One of the evidence of this model is the Brownian motion. Brownian motion happens because moving particles are constantly buffeted by the fast-moving particles of the air. Another evidence deals with the use of what? Small screens, which is observed under a microscope. The smoke grain shows up as tiny specks of light. And what is noticeable is the way they move. They follow an erratic. Erratic means non-linear or zigzag path. Let's check. Correct. Explanation using the kinetic model. Many observations can be explained with the kinetic model of matter. They are liquids, okay, take up the shape of their containers because their particles are free to move within the bulk of the liquid. Gases fill their container because their particles can move freely about it. Solids retain their shape because the particles are packed tightly together. Let's check. That's correct. Explanation also using the kinetic model. Gases, okay, diffuse from place to place because they are freely mobile. The substances diffuse through a liquid. Most solids, okay, expand when they melt. The particles are slightly further apart in a liquid than in a solid. Liquids expand a lot when they, what do you think will be the answer? Boil. Gases contract when they condense. So let's check. Correct. Evaporation. We are also to drag the following words into the correct boxes. A liquid evaporates more quickly as its temperature approaches its boiling point. Puddles disappear after a storm in the tropics. That is regions that have high insolation or that has high amount of rainfall in a year, where the temperature is about 30 degrees Celsius but lie around for days in cold regions, that is polar regions, where the temperature is approximately 0 degrees Celsius. Let's check. Correct. In which state of matter are the particles closely packed? Just like we saw in the figure that I showed earlier involving solid, liquid, and gas. So which one has where the particles are closely packed? The answer is what? Solid. That's correct. In which state of matter are the particles widely separated? That is what? Gas. It cannot be mixture, solid, nor liquid. So the answer is gas. Correct. So before we wrap it up for today, we have to choose the correct statement in any of the three above. A mixture changes from solid to liquid at a particular temperature known as the boiling point. The statement is what? Wrong, because mixture can comprise of two or more what? Substances mixed what? Together. A pure substance changes from solid to liquid at a particular temperature known as the boiling point. The statement is what? False. A pure substance changes from solid to liquid at a particular temperature known as the melting point. Correct. For a solid to change to a liquid, it will have to undergo the process called melting. So let's pick it and check. That's correct. Again, we have to choose the correct statement from any of the three above. To study the kinetic model of matter, particles are dealt with. This is correct. Particles involve atoms, molecules, and ions. So the statement is correct. Let's deal with the other two. To study the kinetic model of matter, compounds are dealt with. The statement is what? False. Because with compounds, we have two or more elements coming together by way of what? Chemical bonds. So the statement is false. To study the kinetic model of atoms, amorphous substances are dealt with. No. Amorphous substances are substances without an irregular shape. So the statement is false. So we pick to study the kinetic model of matter, particles are dealt with. That's it. Correct. With this, we've come to the end of this class. Do well to visit our website www.edubbey.com for more of our interactive notes and videos. Subscribe, and subscribe. Bye for now.